Okay, this is a video where I'm gonna explain my opinions on the two different versions you can play on this game. The first one being the launch version of the game, unpatched, the 1.0 version of the game, uh, and the patched version of the game. Um, so what we're doing right now on Legendary is that we run this game through on the 1.0 version for a few different reasons. But I want to go through all the missions here and discuss the pros and cons of playing on patched and 1.0. I have some of the ILs is actually done on the patched version. I have 3 records where I played on the patched version of the game. Also, I used to have 2 Xboxes, so I switched between them. But I found it to be way more consistent and faster to run on the 1.0. But without further ado, I think I'm gonna go through all the missions and tell you what I think is the most optimal version to run at on Legendary. I might add. Okay, so the first mission is Osiris. There isn't any big differences between the versions at all here. However, there is actually a kill barrier on the patched version when you trying to get inside the final room. You can still get inside if you're doing a bit more effort, but there is this kill barrier you have to go around. So it's obviously a bit easier to run on unpatched, because then you don't have to put down an effort to go around this kill barrier. You just can get inside as fast as possible without even having to think about this death barrier. So the second mission is probably the biggest reason why we play on 1.0, but there is also pros to run on patched version. The biggest reason we play on patched version here, on patch, is because there is ramp slide. Ramp slide is actually patched totally, mainly because of multiplayer, of course. You can't do any ramp slides on patched version. You can do them on 1.0. They don't save so much time, but they really stack up because there's quite a few of them in this mission. There is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them here on this mission you do. And all of them saves like a second each. So, I mean, at least like, say 5 seconds if you get all of them. Perhaps a tiny bit more because you can get like a 6th optional one. And there's a few more ramp slide over the game, but it isn't anything you really going to see a drastic time loss on. However, on the patched version, they have nerfed the storm rifle guys. The storm rifles are heavily nerfed and will barely kill you. The storm rifle guys are probably, you die from 7 shots of these, and on 1.0 they have insanely long range, and it's mainly because there are so many of them in the final room, where you have jackals running around with these, and they will insta kill you if they get up close. 7 shots from an automatic weapon insta kills you. That's it. Oh well, you can get revived, but that's another story. However, you cannot kill hunters the fast way on patched version. On patched version, they patched out a way you could kill hunters before. Before on 1.0, you can kill them with an energy sword. We pick up an energy sword and slash them in their back 3 times consistently as they flinch. You killed 3 of these guys totally on 1.0. 2, the first 2 hunters you kill in the room with the energy sword, and then you kill another one in the final fight. unpatched version, you have to pick up the Blaze of Glory, so you lose all the sprint you lose a lot of time just from not having an energy sword. You also lose time in the final fight because that you pretty much forced to do very slow fight, which is more consistent but loses so much time. I would say you at least lose 30 seconds. I would argue you probably gonna lose more consistently because you're also probably going to do slow engine room fight, because the sniper's accuracies also boost immensely. There's more enemies that also have improved accuracy, but I'm gonna get to them later on. So what we do now on 1.0 is that we in the engine fight, we move up like on pipes around the map and try to get behind the enemy and try to EMP a bunch of elites. You are going to get shot at by snipers most of the time there as you try to get up there, but they most likely not going to even hit you on unpatched. Let alone one hit you. They can hit you, but you're gonna survive one sniper hit most of the time. However, on patched version, they will one hit KO you a lot of the time. So you most likely gonna do slow strat in that room as well. So there's a huge time loss on blue team. So overall, I would say at least 30 seconds you're gonna lose here on if you run unpatched. Glass is actually in favor of patched version of the game. I also did IL on patched version here. This is because you can drive up with your hog on a hill where you have to drive around on the unpatched version. It's because how the physics works here. Does it save time? Kind of, yes. 5 seconds. Consistently 5 seconds. But unlike easy, you still have to get inside the tank and command your teammates to go in there. You skip that whole part on easy. So it still doesn't save, so much time. So you can count with 5 seconds time save consistently here, which is 5 seconds is already the amount of time save you save from ramp slide alone on blue team, and there's a few more ramp slides, so tiny bit more better on patched, not much. However, the crawler do actually have a little explosion thing going on patched, which doesn't do a lot of damage to their teammates that surround them, but a tab more, which makes the final fight a tab more consistent. Not much, but a tab more. So count with 5, perhaps 7 seconds, add 2 seconds or something. So not much time save here. Meridian Station, it's an auto-scroller. There's no advantage over any of the versions here, really. There's no enemies. No ramp slides either. Straight up forward and auto-scroller, you speak with people. Unconfirmed, there isn't even much here to speak of. I guess the light rifle guys are going to be a bit more consistent, but to be honest, you're probably going to insta-kill. You are supposed to insta-kill them. And I guess it's a tab more consistent at one part. I mean, we still have the crawler which has this small explosion, but there isn't really anything worthwhile mentioning, really. It's kind of the same story here. Evac, actually, on paper you think it should be equal amount here, like pros and cons on both versions, but no. I did this IL on the patched version of the game. The patched version of the game has nerfed the teleportation. When you're doing normal fight with the soldier, you might not notice it, But what I noticed when I did this, I played all the missions unpatched and unpatched. When I tried to see, oh, is this level faster unpatched? I wanted, beat as many ILs as possible because I have two Xboxes. I can do this. I actually played on patched version because it seems more consistent. Because when enemy spawns in, especially two sniper like binary rifle elites, no, not elites, soldiers, they stand still. They do not teleport directly after they spawn on patched. They do that on unpatched. So it's easier to kill them. I also find it more, even though light rifle soldiers on patch has better accuracy, it seems to me that also your teammates has better accuracy with the ghost turret on the hog, which kind of helped me. Also the fact then when you're doing IL grind, you also have the revert whole mission thing, which kind of helps, me not needing to back out of the mission when I need to reset. But actually, small favor to the patched version here. I would play patched version every day, any day on evac. Reunion. Reunion is actually kind of bad here. One thing I didn't mention is that the plasma pistol is boosted immensely. You are more likely to die to the plasma pistols here. Also, there's a sniper that's also more likely to kill you, but you can pre-fire around the corner to kill him. But here we have an area where you drop down. You smack a door. No, more like a ceiling or whatever, a wall. And you kill a jackal with a carbine, and then you're supposed to try to get up on this phaeton to skip that section. There's a bunch of small grunts here to shoot with a plasma pistol. I have survived so many times on barely like a tiny bit of health. I would have died there if it was patched, if I played on the patched version. And I had a guy I know, a friend of mine, that runs this game on patched version. Batchat is his Twitch name. Shout out to him for finding quite a few things. He usually types in chat, 1.0 privileges for me surviving there. There's a few more of these places as we go on. Also, there's the warden launch here, which is this is probably the true gatekeeper of a run, because getting warden launch first try saves you so much time over like getting it 3 times in a row or something. Rather like getting it the 3rd try. On patch, they added another attack. He has 3 attacks he mainly does on you. On patch, he does 2 things. He does his slice attack, and then he does his charge attack. The charge attack is the attack you want him to do, so you can get the warden launch to skip that section. On the patched version, he has another attack. He has like a jump slash attack, which doesn't give you the warden launch. So there's already like there's an extra attack you don't want to get. So that's definitely a con on patched version. And to be honest, if you do 100 runs and you get it 1/3 compared to 50, 1 out of 2, it's gonna stack up really quickly. I think that's about it for this mission. Also, I'm just rambling on here. Sources and Helios, there isn't super much difference here, but I want to keep you in mind. Also, Reunion is, as I said, way easier on unpatched. Sources and Helios, it isn't super big difference here. the plasma pistol grunts here doesn't really put up enough of a threat for me not recommending the patched version. But there's another reason here. If you want to go super fast, and only there's a alley or like it's like big area where you kill 2 or 3 snipers. These snipers have the way better accuracy, as I mentioned back in Blue Team, so they will kill you more often. And if you want to go fast, only kill 2 of them, which I usually do on 1.0, the 3rd sniper is more likely to kill in midair than he is on 1.0. Not super big difference, but I mean, it is a difference. So overall, I would say, in my opinion, obviously 1.0 wins. Alliance is another auto-scroller. It doesn't really matter here. Enemy lines, I would say this is not greatly in favor of 1.0, but slightly, because there's plasma pistols here when you're trying to grab and jump over a shield here. Here's another like 1.0 privilege, because you're not gonna die from those plasma pistol. Otherwise, not so much big difference here. It is gonna be a bit harder to fight in the final room here, because the light rifle has better accuracy. But this is not a deal breaker to run on patch. Nothing deal breaking here. Before the Storm is the 3rd and final auto-scroller. It's only one minute long, and same goes for Alliance. This is only 1 minute long as well, but still, it's an auto-scroller. Nothing big here. Battles in Iron is greatly, I would say, in favor of 1.0. I have heard comments about, oh, the plasma caster is better here. It's slightly better, but the thing is, it is slightly better. Even though they kind of nerfed it in the latest version of patched, so it's kind of nerfed again. But hey, when it comes to this, there's so many plasma pistol parts where you're barely surviving on 1.0, and it's a hell on patched to get through those places. Namely, it's the at the first, it's the second cannon where you round past 3 grunts and ground pound into like a little underground area where you pick up the field rod. You so likely going to die there even on 1.0, and it's kind of slim on patched. And the underground city is another area which is super likely to die on patched. I am going to do a conclusion in the end of the video here, where I talk about this more overall. Genesis is actually the 3rd and final mission I would recommend running patched on. The IL I did is actually on patched version of the game. You have a reset mission option, and the wardens are nerfed on this version of the game, so they have weaker armor up front, which make them easier to kill. Also, for some reason, it's easier to survive the ghost part in the beginning on patched. It seems like you're stronger in the vehicle or something, but it's easier to survive on patched here. So it's in favor of patched. Not super much, but more. I would actually say it's better to run this on patched. It's bigger advantage on patch over unpatched than glass, I would actually say. Only because of the consistency, even though, I mean, 1.0 I'm pretty consistent at it anyway, but patched version on Genesis any day. Breaking. Oh wow, this is another one. This is probably where the light rifle accuracy comes into play the most, or second most. I want to say Battle of Zion part where the final part there, the light rifle will. Yeah, there's a bunch of light rifle guys in the last area. They will kill you super easily. They would. They can like 3-hit you. They can 3-tap you, and with no mercy. So there's something to watch out for. But yes, fighting the light rifle guys in the first section of this is so bad. I tried to when I IL grind this, I was like, there isn't any like big differences between the versions, right? So obviously I'm gonna IL grind this unpatched. But after like an hour, I realized that, oh no, what the fuck? This area is the light rifles. They are out shooting me so consistently. They are not missing at all. So even though I got the revert button, it wasn't worth it at all. I can't go as risky. I can't run around and be risky as I am doing an unpatched because their accuracy is spot on, man. If 3 of them are looking at you, they will 3-tap you, man. They will kill you, no mercy. It's you can do it unpatched, but it's gonna be a harder fight. It's just gonna be a harder fight overall, unpatched. Guardians, I would say actually it's actually in favor. It is actually in favor of patched. Not much, but in favor of patched. Because there's 2 turrets that can kill you if you don't beam rifle them, which we do on 1.0, and they are nerfed, so they are kind of nerfed in patched. So I guess it's actually in favor of one unpatched. I'm pretty sure. Haven't played it a lot on patched to say for sure, but I would say this actually in favor of patch. But this mission is so quick and it's no fighting really, and it's just this tab. But patched, I guess, is faster, but even though you won't get the ramp slide, which there is a ramp slide here on this mission. I don't get it, but there is one. Okay, so that's all the mission. Overall, the biggest difference is, I would say, is definitely the enemy boosts and nerfs. Some of you might argue here like, oh, it's only, the plasma pistols and the, better accuracy. You can perhaps, yes, you can perhaps reroute some of the areas on Battles of Nyan. Perhaps to make it more consistent, but the thing is, you're gonna handicap yourself doing this because you need you need to route safer strats, not faster. You need safer strats to do them more consistently. And enemies has better accuracy. That's it. I mean, sniper has better accuracy. They will one-hit you way more often overall. And the plasma pistol parts on the underground, it is more inconsistent. Unless you find like a route where you can go around the section, which is gonna lose you time overall, but perhaps you can find a way. But when it comes to this game starts to get kind of optimized soon. This game is gonna get deathless sooner or later. It has 1 death in it so far. It's gonna get deathless pretty soon. And if you want to compete for a world record, it's gonna be a struggle to do it on unpatched. I would say it's mainly because of the fights, actually. The accuracy of the light rifles is greatly increased. It's gonna be harder. You have to put way more effort into the fights. You can't be sloppy. You can't go go YOLO risky. as you can do on 1.0 against the light rifles. The plasma pistol will kill you more consistently when you jolt through underground on battles in Ion. The sniper will one-hit you way more often on Souls of Sangheders, on blue team, and you are going to run into difficult parts, killing hunters, and yeah, they just buffed overall unpatched. The biggest pro overall, in my opinion, for patched is the storm rifle, guys. The storm rifle is so nerfed. It's the best part. The thing is, you don't find many storm rifles. The storm rifles you find is mainly on blue team, and blue team is already way faster because you don't have to do any bad. You don't have to kill the hunters with a blaze of glory or anything like that. It's already faster like that, and you don't have to do save strat in final fight. So that's my conclusion. I strongly believe that the few pros that there is on patched version of the game doesn't lift it up enough to make it appealing to me. I know I have I guess I kind of even perhaps offended people when I have this strong opinion about this, but keep in mind I played both versions and I tried to play each mission on patch to try to get the IL, and the patch version has the revert mission, but in full game it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter because you're not gonna revert the mission on glass or something. You're gonna drop out anyway. So in my conclusion, I strongly feel like the few time saves there are 3 or 4 missions is better on patched. Doesn't lift it up. It's so more inconsistent in YOLO parts, in fights, in hallways you want to run through. It isn't worth it for me. You can get it work if you want to run unpatched. You have to pretty much route up a safe route where you can walk around the areas on Battles in Ion. You have to find a way to move around it and stuff. You can do that. It puts more effort, but consistency overall is greatly in favor of unpatched as of today, in my opinion. That ends my rambling, I guess. Comment below. I guess I'm uploading to this on YouTube, so comment below or send me a message on Twitch. My Twitch is DavidSpartan95. So yeah, thank you for listening, I guess.